I didn't allow my brother over for Christmas. My dad moved into our house 6 months ago after his stroke left him needing help with basically everything. He can walk with a cane but never learned to cook or clean for himself in 60 years of life. My wife Amy took care of him without complaining for months, cooking 3 meals a day and doing his laundry every week. Then my older brother Greg stopped by the day after Thanksgiving. I was in the garage fixing a bike when I heard them in the living room. Greg was laughing about something and my dad joined in. I walked closer to the door and heard Greg say Amy's name. She dresses like she shops at a thrift store blindfolded. My dad actually chuckled. And she's so bitchy about everything. Ask her to do one thing and she acts like you demanded her kidney. I froze. My wife had just made them both lunch an hour earlier. When I walked in, they both went quiet real fast. Greg tried to change the subject to football, but I told him to leave. He acted confused, but I said I heard everything, and he needed to get out. After he left, I sat my dad down and told him if he ever talked about Amy like that again to anyone, he could find somewhere else to live. His face went pale, but he just nodded. I told Amy everything that night. She didn't cry or yell. She just went quiet, then said she was done cooking for him. From that moment on, she stopped acknowledging my dad existed. She would walk right past him in the hallway. When she made dinner, she made portions for the two of us. Only my dad would sit at the table staring at our plates while we ate. He complained on day 3. Is there not enough food? Amy looked at him for the first time in days. That's the food I made. Eat it or starve. She put her own plate in front of him, got up, and made herself a sandwich instead. My dad sat there looking at the plate like it might bite him. He never learned to use the stove. I'm not kidding. 63 years old and can't scramble an egg. He tried using the microwave to heat up a can of soup once and forgot to open it first. The explosion covered the entire inside. Amy walked by, saw it, and said pathetic, loud enough for him to hear. Greg kept texting me asking when he could visit again. I told him he wasn't welcome anymore. He called me Christmas Eve morning asking if I was seriously going to ban him from Christmas dinner. Yes, I said. You trashed my wife in my house. You don't get to come back. He started yelling about family and tradition. I hung up on him. My mom called an hour later crying, asking me to reconsider. I told her what Greg said and she went quiet, then said she'd talk to me later. Christmas morning was silent. My dad sat in the living room watching TV while Amy and I cooked together. We made a ham, mashed potatoes, green beans, and rolls. The smell filled the whole house. We set the table for 2 people. My dad watched us carry food back and forth. Finally, he asked if there was enough for him. I looked at him and said, "You never learned to take care of yourself. That's your own fault, not ours." Amy didn't even look his way. We sat down and ate while my dad shuffled to the kitchen. I heard him opening cabinets, the microwave beeping, him cursing under his breath. He came back with a bowl of cereal and sat in his recliner eating it while we finished our meal at the table. Greg sent a photo in the family group chat of him at our mom's house with a full spread of food. The caption said, "Merry Christmas to families who actually love each other." I left the group chat. Amy saw it over my shoulder and squeezed my hand under the table. That night my dad came to our bedroom door. He knocked quietly, and when I opened it he was holding a plate he'd washed himself for the first time ever. "I'm sorry," he said, "for what I said about Amy, and for never learning to be independent. I took advantage of her kindness." Amy was sitting on the bed. She looked at him for a long moment. "You have a month to learn how to cook 5 meals and do your own laundry. If you can't, you're moving out." My dad nodded and actually teared up a little. He's been watching YouTube cooking videos every morning since. Yesterday he made himself scrambled eggs that were only slightly burned. Greg tried coming by yesterday without asking. First I didn't let him pass the front door. He stood there in the cold for 5 minutes trying to apologize before finally leaving.